They can be fine. I mean, as we've talked about, starting pitching is really for me the requirement for the 6 weeks to really feel good about the stamina, the volume of throwing that they increasingly get as you go through spring. Position players can get ready, and relievers can get ready, but you're a little bit crossing your fingers, right, because of that. I just, I worry about the starters. Like all managers and general managers, right? You worry about the health of your team, right? I mean,
anybody on this list having any problems other than just travel issues?
No. I mean, like.
Well, Bard, I don't think he's a visa situation, but
yeah, I don't know.
Okay, he's just not here yet.
I'll ask him tomorrow when I see him, or tonight when he gets here. I'll say what happened. Nick Roque wants to know why you're late.
Roster wide, any problems? Is everybody healthy?
Are we still house cleaning? Yeah.
Still,
Roster wise, we're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's I guess after the house cleaning, kind of piggyback on what Kevin said. It is a little bit of a shorter camp. As you said, maybe not everybody is here. Do you feel like schedule-wise, you're able to get in what you need? I know, because a couple of years ago, you only had 3 weeks. I think this you have a little bit more.
And that was, by ourselves, right? Playing inter-squad games.
Yeah.
So that's a little, it's a little different. But this is more normal with a shortened, I think we have 19 or 20 games scheduled. In a normal spring, you have closer to 30, but you have time to really, prepare your players physically. This is just a little trickier, but we can do it. Players this day and age are taking care of themselves year round. Players are working efficiently more than ever, all professional athletes. Guys knew what they were up against, right? Through all these negotiations. So they're ready. I mean, what we've seen the last couple of days, the guys who are here, some of our informal workouts, they look great. The pitchers have been throwing, but it's different, right? I mean, a lot of guys have been throwing, but indoors, off wooden mounds, off AstroTurf type mounds. Some have been able to throw outside. Some have been able to throw outside and face hitters. Some have faced hitters indoors in a cage. But when you're out here, it's different, right? And you're fielding bunts, you're covering first, you're shagging in the outfield, you're in spikes for a couple hours. I mean, and I told the guys earlier, one of the things we talked about is the baseball shape.
Yeah.
That we have to get into.
And also, this is a little bit different. Sometimes in spring training, you will get an addition. A lot of teams, there are a lot of big free agents out there that could really transform lineups. How exciting is that for you, thinking, hey, maybe something could happen?
Well, I think all teams are in that, that mode now that their rosters are not finalized. And I know that, without, all managers and general, we're engaged. I'll put it that way. As are other teams with players, because like you said, Thomas, there's a lot of free agents out there, and we're doing our best to try to make that happen.
I know you're in the loop, obviously, on all this stuff, but I mean, stuff is moving fast. It's moving fast, right?
It's moving very fast. You've seen it with us, right? The last couple of days.
Yeah. So, do you, when you started gaming out your plans, more longer term, are you just putting everything on pause until you know?
Not really. No, not on pause, but it's just like anything. It's just, when something happens, you make the quick adjustment and you keep going. Whether it's a trade during the middle of the year, whether it's players. The thing about a player is they're conditioned for this type of action, right? They're getting ready, they're at home, or they're in the valley, or they're in Florida. They're playing, they're practicing. So physically, they're in a good spot, And, guys, depending on who the player is, might be a veteran player or, a lesser service time player. For them to transition to a new team, that's part of what players do. So that, I don't worry about that so much. I mean, you got to get a player up to speed on, some of the processes you do as an individual team, whether it's, certain fundamentals, certain defenses, certain sign sequences as a, pitcher catcher. I mean, but, you find that most players are able to really quickly, adeptly make the transition.
How familiar were you with Jose Iglesias before?
Just from the other side. He was a longtime American League player with Boston and then Detroit. Then we saw him in Cincinnati for those 2 years. Just being a fan, watching baseball, seeing him play. Last year we saw a series against the Angels in Anaheim, saw him play. Like any of these things, front offices and executives do their homework, managers and coaches do their homework too, do their due diligence on players. And we did that. I made a couple phone calls to guys I know.
You talked to Joe about it?
Joe's a good friend of mine. Joe and I talk about a lot of things.
Okay.
I did talk to Joe. I've talked to a couple other managers that he had. Mags had him as a young player in Boston.
That's right.
Yeah, Mags had him in Boston right when he came up in 13 and 14 or 12 and 13. So Mags had him. He's talked to Mags. They've spoken.
What is your plan for him?
Right now he pencils in as our shortstop. Yeah. I don't know, maybe. Yeah.
If you can,
Pretty. What different? There's different leads on pencils, right?
yeah,
Sure.
yeah, they're different.
Right.
ones. Number two,
Number twos and three. What's the lightest one?
The lightest one would be
Is it one?
in the H's, H7.
Yeah, I'm saying but probably the heaviest lead
The
pencil.
heaviest.
Or so
yeah.
you can even
That
say
would be
you
si-
can,
that
you can
would
say
be-
ink. You want to ink them in? What do you?
Yeah, you can ink them in.
Yeah,
Go
like-
9B. Ink them in or go 9B.
But anyway, yeah, pencil means it's. But yeah, he's been a long time major league shortstop.
Gotcha. And maybe down the lineup. No, batting.
Yeah, probably does. But who knows? I mean, yeah,
When you
Yeah.
look at who you guys are, especially as a pitching staff, the importance of defense, ground balls, and everything like that. How big was it to have?
very big.
If you didn't
You're right.
have
That's
a
a good point.
shortstop
Yeah,
getting home
right.
runs, but you got to have that.
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think
field.
that, again, you look at our ground ball rate as a pitching staff. We're one of the best in baseball at producing ground balls with our starters. So it's imperative that we have defense. We feel good about Mac, obviously, what a year he had. Iglesias has proven solid. I think Brendan made great strides. I think Hampy moves well in the infield. The guys that we have coming up, right? Whether it's Trejo, whether it's a young Tovar, he's again we'll put our eyes on him. The two veteran guys that we signed, Kyle Holder and Tim Lopes, are defenders. So I mean, and Crony in the second half, I thought Crony played really well once he got regular reps in game at first. I thought he was really good from June on at first. As you look at, he was banged up during the COVID year, didn't play a lot, hurt his knee, and then the year before that he was in the American League, sort of going back and forth. So, but regular reps proved that he played pretty well.
Okay. Can you clear something up?
Yes.
I've heard a couple people, I can't remember if you said this, I don't think you said this. Some other people in Oregon think that Tovar defensively is advanced to the point of maybe even being able to.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that too. I mean, again, I think all the superlatives that you put on a player at times is unfair, right? Until you really see it. He was an A-ball last year.
Right.
And you hear that with other players, other organizations. I sort of hold judgment a little bit. I think it's fair to the player. Ozzie Smith, there's no doubt, out of college, was a spectacular shortstop, and San Diego put him right in the big leagues. Omar Vizquel, saw him up close and personal as a young defender. I mean, yeah, they just had it. They just had it. Now, this kid, actually Jose Iglesias had it when he came over when he was 20. I mean, it was that good, and it was noticeable right away. Now, in all fairness to Tovar, let's wait and see. But I've heard nothing but great things about the defense.
What is the biggest difference for fans who don't know very minutely?
I think the speed of the game, the speed of the major league game. So, in simplest terms, the exit velocity off the bat, off a big league bat as opposed to an A-ball bat, is harder and faster. So the ball comes off the bat faster. So the reaction time is there. Has to be there. And also in a lot of cases, the speed of the runner, right? Major league speed. There's fast guys in the minors for sure. And there's fast guys in the majors. But you find that most fast guys in the majors are faster than most fast guys in the minors. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. So that's the two things. Just just like the average major league runner is faster than the, I think, average minor league number. Even though on a scouting scale we all, we clock an A-ball runner down the line, and we put a great we know that major league average is, it's 4.1, 4.2, whatever it is down the line, and we grade that as major, but still it's just different when it's different like when Tatis hits a ground ball and runs to first,
Right.
or the shortstop in Des Moines hits a ground ball to short. It's just different.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying? Speed of the game.
This would be a while
So you hear about the
as well.
the timing clock of the infielder. I think he has that. I hope he has that, right? But he's going to learn.
Yeah.
He might play Thursday. Yeah, I throw him out there.
Have you actually
Yeah,
seen him?
I've seen him on the backfields. I saw him in Instruction League 2 years ago, and I saw him in the Arizona Fall League this year. It looks right.
Fundamentally.
Yeah, it looks right. Yeah, but catch up with Stu as we get into this next couple weeks, and give Stu an ask.
What do you have with Alex calling me? Obviously, you guys.
I think just veteran reliever, right? Who's been through it, 155 career saves. The guy's he's a pro, and our scouts liked him. Our front office, from Billy's eyes and their analytic group, everything. It seemed like a good fit to go with Daniel, with Carlos, with Tyler Kinley, Stevenson. We just want to be as formidable and as deep as possible, right? So that was the reasoning there's a mutual interest. He wanted to come here. We identified him, so it worked out.
You look at some of the guys you signed in the past, whether it was Greg Holland, Wade Davis that first year. How big is it?
You can
for
keep
this?
going. Brian Shaw,
Yeah, Brian.
Jake
Shaw.
McGee.
Well, I'm thinking more of
Even before I got here.
guys.
Okay.
First of all, how much does setting your ninth inning with a guy like that? And
How do you know he's going to be the ninth inning guy?
well, I guess that's the next
What kind
question.
of
Yeah,
pencil lead are we talking?
Yeah, no, I think he's part. I think he's now pitched in the back end of games in leverage situations for a lot of years.
Mhm.
That's what I like. And from our conversation, not mine personally, but from what we've heard from his camp, that he just wants to be a part of a good bullpen. He wants to be instrumental in helping a team win when we have a lead.
So do you stage a closer competition in camp? What do you do?
It's a fair question, but I might not phrase it that way. Guy's got to perform, Thomas.
Mhm.
Whether it's the 5th inning or 9th.
There-
You're only as strong as your weakest link. Has that ever been said?
My football coach said it to me all the time.
Guys, I don't want to say cut this short because we've been at it for almost 20 minutes. So I'm not cutting it short, but I do got to go, Coach.